Adam's going mild, but
Adam is mild.
me and you are going hot.
Adam's good.
You
Logan,
guys are combined going an 11.
we're going lukewarm.
You guys
Welcome back, everybody. It's the Brass Tacks Podcast, episode 33. We're your hosts, Rick and Adam. I'm Rick. Okay. That's Adam. Over there being mysterious and silent as usual.
He's mad because we called him lukewarm.
And we're joined always by the beautiful and talented intern, Logan.
Hello.
And we have a very special show planned for you today. We are going to be playing the COVID Trail Escape from Denver 2020 survival strategy game created by yours truly.
Who's that?
What?
Huh?
Did you say who's that?
Yeah.
That would be me.
Oh.
And so
Yeah, I know.
I spent I know you're fucking with me. I spent a decent amount of time creating and writing this whole fucking scenario, so I'm pretty excited to play this out.
Scenario.
Exactly. Fuck you guys. But so we did a little test run of this last week and had a blast playing it, and we have since figured out all of our audio issues that we were having, and so we're back to normal.
I guess my real question is, we're gonna have posters, right?
Oh, we'll eventually, yeah, we will have posters. We're gonna make a couple of posters of the of what you're seeing on the screen here. This beautiful Escape from Denver 2020 commemorative poster.
It's pretty sweet.
Commemorate your quarantine.
Yeah, exactly. You can hang it up and you can marvel at it, put it on your ceiling so it's the first thing you see when you wake up. Or if you're Adam, you would put it on your floor so it's facing it's the first thing you see when you wake up. I'm referring to the fact that Adam has to sleep on his tummy because he always has a sore coolie.
Oh, all right.
It's okay. I'm working a little blue today.
Blue?
Yeah.
Wow, all right.
Get a clue. So basically what we're going to be doing today is we're going to play this game, and let me go ahead and give you a rundown of the rules, and then we're going to get into the introduction of the game, and we're going to play from there. So sit back and relax, and cross your fingers that we all make it out of this alive, because we're about to encounter some horse shit. So again, the name of this game is called COVID Trail Escape from Denver 2020. It's an Oregon Trail Dungeons & Dragons hybrid, and we are going to be doing our best to stay alive. So in this survival scenario game, each player will encounter obstacles and boss fights in which they will be required to imagine how they would defeat or overcome every obstacle or boss that they run into. Players will come up with any method they would like to in order to advance in the storyline, no matter how outrageous or unrealistic it is. Then each player will roll an 8-sided die to determine whether or not they achieve their goal. So basically what we're going to be doing is once we encounter these scenarios or these obstacles or bosses, we're going to imagine anything we want, any scenario in which we can escape or defeat these people. We're going to imagine it and then hopefully roll the required digits to achieve these goals. So each player has an opportunity to roll 3 times to achieve the objective. Even numbers complete the objective, while odd numbers will not, and they always have consequences. And so basically you're looking to get the best 2 out of 3 of each roll to decide the outcome. So if a player does not achieve their desired outcome, or if they roll odds 2 out of 3 times, then the consequences are going to be determined by me, because I'll be narrating and basically reading us and navigating us through this story. So
it's a power move, but it's a power move.
Again, yeah. Adam thinks that this is some sort of power move. And I like how when we played this game the first time, I don't know if you noticed, but I certainly noticed that Adam was quick to change up the rotation of who rolls, because I think you knew.
Yeah.
You kind of noticed that I came out on top 2 scenarios in a row. But Adam tried to correct that and switch the order at which we rolled, because I think he thought there was some nefarious activity going on.
I did.
I think this
I
was-
did.
there was
Yeah, you're
something
100% right.
serious.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like I had to wait. I've had this sitting in the back of my mind, and I had to wait a whole week to fucking to call you out on that.
Yeah. Well, you're 100% right.
He's paranoid.
Well, you're 100% right. Absolutely. Yeah, I was like, no.
Maybe there's some paranoid.
You've got
schizophrenia.
somewhat, you like programmed to cut like roll trends or something. So like,
Well, that's the thing is like, why would I do something like that when I have a game that I'm trying to play? Makes no sense.
all right,
Takes all the wonder out of
all
it.
right, fine.
All right, so getting back to the
Agree to disagree, I guess.
fair enough. Getting back to the rules, if one player dies before any other player has a chance to complete the objective, then what's going to happen is the remaining two players are automatically going to advance to the next part of the story.
Yeah.
And so you can, at that point, like let's say I die before Logan and Adam have a chance to go. Basically what would happen is they don't have to roll for the outcome to be successful. They can just kind of come up with whatever scenario they want and automatically progress in this survival scenario.
Agree to
So
scenario.
scenario. So with all that being said, there are going to be a small couple of like amendments to the rules here and there once we start encountering some shit later on in the storyline, but I'll fill you guys in on that once we get there. So
Okay.
let's go ahead and get to the introduction and set the scene for the beginning of this game. It was
I'm just
the
big.
what? Jesus fuck! I can't, like what? What do you want to say, dude?
Nah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Let's get into the fucking game then. It was the year 2020, and the people of Earth were being brought to their knees by a deadly virus known as COVID-19. Hospitals are overwhelmed. There are global food shortages, and still no cure in sight. Rick, Adam, and Executive Intern Logan are just settling in at the Brass Tacks studio when we all receive an emergency alert on our phones in unison. Martial law has been declared. There is a total societal breakdown and shit has officially hit the fan. Luckily for us, Adam has an isolated mountain fortress with plenty of food and water. The only problem is that we have to get there first. So this is going to bring us into our first scenario entitled Got Gas? So, Rick, Adam, and Executive Intern Logan immediately spring into action, throwing their chairs through a window to make a quick egress out of the house and onto the street. Good thing
I like that because there's no conversations.
Yes, it is nice.
All right.
Good thing we have two vehicles. We can travel Smokey and the Bandit style, Adam said with a look of longing on his face. Sorry, man. I haven't put oil in my car in like 100 years, so it stopped working, Rick said with a chuckle. Well, that's okay. It's just one more obstacle for us to overcome as best friends, Adam said, fighting the urge to tell Rick that he loved him.
Okay.
The boys then piled.
I like that.
The boys
There's no-
then piled into Adam's truck. Adam cranked the
Caution.
ignition before the guys could even buckle their seatbelts. Adam exclaimed, "Oh, fiddlesticks! I forgot to get gas when I was at the 7-Eleven buying cigarettes." "Don't worry, pal. We can get gas on the way," Rick said with a cheerful expression. 7-Eleven is only 1 block away, he added, clearly stating the obvious in an attempt to remain the center of attention. The fellas then pulled up to the 7-Eleven, only to find that the pumps are all occupied by people fueling up their vehicles in a panic. Out of the corner of his eye, Rick spots a hippie fuckboy charging his crystals in the sun on the hood of his car, completely ignoring the fact that the pump handle had already done that little click thing that it does when your car is full. This infuriated the boys, and they knew that they only had one choice if they wanted to remove this wand polisher from the planet Earth. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go in a rotation and come up with a scenario as to how we would like to dispatch this hippie fuckboy from the pump. And so I'm going to bring up our lovely 8-sided die here. And let's see, I guess I'll go first, and we'll go in a rotation here. And so I think my preferred method of getting the hippie fuckboy away from our pump so that we can fuel up the vehicle is going to be, I'm going to get out of Adam's truck. I'm going to walk over to the gas pump. I'm going to take the gas pump out of his fucking car, and I'm going to douse him with gasoline. And I'm going to play a hot track from my mixtape that no one's ever heard and light him on fire. So let's go ahead. Okay. I need to roll 2 evens to get this done. And if I don't, I'm going to have to pass this off to one of you guys, and hopefully we can get this guy out of our way.
Come on there.
First roll. We've got a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Second roll.
Adam's already getting suspicious.
We've got a 2. Okay. We've got a 2.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So I hop out of Adam's car. I spray this fuckboy down with a lot of gasoline. I swipe all of his crystals onto the pavement, and I play a track off my hot mixtape and set this guy on fire. He dies almost instantly to the delight of all the gentlemen. All right.
Yeah.
So now that we've achieved getting past the hippie fuckboy, we have fueled up Adam's car, and we are now back on the road, which leads us to our next segment of the survival scenario entitled Dirty Cop.
Dirty Cop.
Dirty Cop.
Sick and tired of hearing all these people talk about. All right, so 20 minutes into their drive to Adam's mountain hideout, the boys started to breathe a sigh of relief as there was no traffic and the deserted highway made this blossoming apocalypse seem peaceful. Things were going so well, in fact, that Adam slid on a pair of aviator sunglasses and said, "It's all good," before cranking up Selfie by the Chainsmokers.
I don't even own aviator sunglasses, but all right.
In this world, you do. The boys partied and horsed around for miles, completely oblivious to the fact that there was a police cruiser trailing behind them with the sirens blaring. The boys continued down the road for several more miles with the police cruiser's sirens blending in with the rockin' beat of Selfie by the Chainsmokers, when suddenly, bam! The police car slammed into the back of the boys' vehicle. "Holy guacamole, it's the cops!" Adam exclaimed as he struggled to maintain control of the vehicle while simultaneously turning down Selfie by the Chainsmokers. Executive Intern Logan began to cry, and Adam started bargaining with God after a lifetime of atheism before the two looked back at Rick, who maintained a regal, samurai-like calm and focus.
Very convenient.
This calmed the boys and sent the signal that everything would be okay. "It's all good," Adam said, again with a smile and a wink before the boys felt another hard slam. Boom! The police cruiser pulled off a wicked tight pit maneuver, sending the fellas spiraling out of control right into a Frank Azar the Strong-Arm billboard, totaling the vehicle and stunning the guys.
Keep it local.
Yeah, I'm keeping it local.
Keep it local, dude.
Just as Rick, Adam, and EIL, little abbreviation for Executive Intern Logan, started to come out of their daze, they heard a stern voice say, "Out of the car, guys." Upon climbing out of the wreckage and staggering to their feet, the boys realized that they were standing in front of none other than Jesse the Body Ventura, clearly impersonating an officer of the law.
Fighter.
"Looks like it's my lucky day," he said as he cocked a revolver and pointed it at the guys. "You see, this here's my highway and don't nobody get to drive it without paying the toll," he said as he used his thumb and index finger of his free hand to unzip his slacks, allowing the remaining fingers to softly caress his genitals on the way down. "What's the toll?" Intern Logan asked curiously, oblivious to the fact that a senior citizen was probably going to sexually assault him. "Well, you see, it gets lonely out here on these roads," said Jesse Ventura as he pulled out an unrealistically thick, long, engorged, veiny cock with a tuft of snow-white hair protruding from the perimeter of his shaft in the style of Larry David's hairline. "The apocalypse literally just started," Adam shouted, fighting back tears.
Thank you.
What?
No, I was going to say that. I was going to interrupt you and say that same exact thing. So.
You've heard this story already. Jesus Christ. All right.
Okay, sorry. All right.
Let me get back here. The apocalypse literally just started, Adam shouted, fighting back tears. "I don't make the rules, pal," said Ventura. "I just drive around and force people to suck my hog." The statement sent chills down the spines of the boys as they looked in horror at the washed-up governor stroking his now fully erect penis. "Now, I don't care which one of you does it, but you ain't going nowhere until Daddy's bag is empty." "And if we refuse?" Rick said loudly like a total badass, maintaining his cool as a cucumber tough guy persona. Well, then I guess the vultures don't go hungry tonight, Ventura said, firing a shot just past Rick's head. The bullet whizzed by, barely missing his left ear, traveling all the way to Oklahoma, where it soared through a kitchen window, striking our good friend Skylar and killing him instantly.
No, Skylar. No, dude.
Clock's ticking, boys, Ventura said as he chambered another round and took aim. Well, I guess we have some choices to make, Intern Logan said, starting to get a little hard himself.
Oh, nah.
So now this brings us to our first boss fight. In the Jesse Ventura dick-sucking scenario, players will have to choose a number 1 to 8. Once each player has chosen a number, they will then roll the die until it lands on one of the two numbers that have been chosen. Whichever player's number it lands on is immediately eliminated. And this is going to be an elimination style thing, so we're going to have to play each other. And whoever emerges victorious out of the three of us, or I guess I should say whoever loses to both of the other players, like they're the ones that are going to have to suck the D. So with that being said, let's go ahead and make our first matchup. And I'm going to go against Mr. Adam. What number would you like to choose?
What do you mean?
You choose a number from 1 to 10. You've already played this game before. I do the same. And then I roll. And if it
How am I using 1 to 10?
Because I have an 8 fucking sided dice. We've already played this game before. Can we please just make this smooth?
Right, 1
Adam,
to 10 would be a 10-sided
number
dice.
1 to 8.
Right?
Stop being a bitch.
That's enough out of you, Logan, or I'm going to put you on fucking hiatus.
Is this a 1 to 8?
Yeah, 1 to 8.
You said 1 to 10.
Did I?
Yeah.
All right, well,
Yes.
that's my fault then.
That's what I was
Correct
questioning.
it,
We're
but-
using an 8-sided dice.
All right. Yeah, we're using an 8-sided die. So choose a number from 1 to 8. That's my
Thank
bad.
you. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
What would you like to go with?
I don't know, dude. Fucking 4.
4? All right. I'm going to go with 5. Let's get some rolls going.
Those prices right? Okay. Yep. See?
We're getting dangerously close. Oh,
Oh no. Does Adam get molested again?
we're about to find out.
Oh, look at how many repeats, dude.
Oh, boy. The plot thickens. Oh, my God. At this rate, none of us are sucking any dick.
It'll just be an hour of Rick continuously rolling this dice.
Exactly. A bunch of dead air.
We'll do a baloney boys in between
Oh.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, we're not getting any closer to sucking Jesse Ventura's hog.
Can we just like sacrifice Adam?
Oh,
nope.
there it is. All right, so Adam, you're eliminated, but you're going to have to come back to fight the victor between Logan and I.
Alright.
So
I'm
pick
going with 7.
7. All right, I'm going to go with 6.
Okay.
Oh, we got a 2. Another fruitless harvest. A 5. A 2.
Very random.
Yeah, well, 'tis the life of the die roll. Oh my God.
Nope.
I just don't want to be the one ending up like, I don't want to have to suck Jesse Ventura's dick in 2 games in a row, you know? I think I ended up being the one that had to service him the last time we played.
Yeah, you're also the only one who died last time too.
That's
Last
true.
2
That's
times.
true. Oh boy.
Meant to be. It's meant to be.
Oh, okay. So I'm out. So that means now you and so now Adam and Executive Intern Logan have to play against each other. So go ahead and pick 2 more numbers, guys.
7.
3.
7 and 3. Let's see. Got 2 8s in a row.
Oh, come on. What is this?
What is that noise?
My chair moves around a little bit.
Okay, well knock it off.
I can't help it.
7.
Oh, nigh.
All right. So that means we all have a loss, I think. So you lost against. Okay, so that means I think we just go in another round.
Who lost against who? You lost.
Yeah, I lost against Intern Logan. I beat you.
No, I got the 4, didn't I?
No, we've all lost each other. I beat you once, and then Intern Logan beat me, and now he just lost to you. So I think that means we have to we would have to do another round. So now I'm trying to think of how to get this going. It was a little bit easier last time. I feel like we didn't have this tie situation. All right, so I guess what we'll do now, let's all 3 of us, because we'll do a tie.
Vietnamese, you don't know.
Well, no, all 3 of us are going to do a tiebreaker now. So all 3 of us need to pick a number.
That's a good joke.
7.
So 7. Adam, what do you want to pick?
2.
2. Okay, so we got 7, 2, and then I'll go with 5. So now whoever's number it lands on, that's the person who's got to suck Jesse Ventura's hog.
Oh, nigh.
So we got, all right, so what was this again? Adam's 7, you're...
No, I'm 7.
Oh, you're 7, Adam's
2.
2, and I'll be 5. Let's get rolling. 7.
This is a bunch of bullshit.
All right.
Why can't Adam get molested again? He's already done it once.
One's enough, man. All right.
Nope, 3 times the charm.
So this is... Let me get to the part of the story that we need to get to. All right. So now basically what's happening is that in this scenario, now that Logan's being preoccupied by sucking Jesse Ventura's dick, Adam and I are looking for a way to basically, since our car is totaled, we need to figure out a scenario in which we can procure Jesse Ventura's stolen cop car and defeat Jesse Ventura and save Intern Logan from the fate that is clearly just traumatizing him at the moment. So, Adam, would you like to come up with a scenario that we can roll for to try and defeat Jesse Ventura and steal his vehicle?
I've got one trick up my sleeve.
Let's hear it.
We've talked about it before.
Bring it up.
Walk up to him, say, "Hey."
What?
I mean, the penetration has been done. All right. It's occurring at this time.
Yes, he's clearly got his dick in Intern Logan's mouth.
But I have my bag of sand, dude.
All right, so Adam's using pocket sand?
Yes, I'm breaking up the pocket sand. This is like the diamond in the rough, dude.
All right, so go into detail how you're going to execute.
So look, I have it in my palm. I'm gripping it like this, like, hey, all right. So I walk up. Rick has already made the choice to distract Jesse.
Why would I have to distract him? He's already getting his dick sucked.
Well, that's the whole sand. It's all a distraction. So obviously, I had to recruit you.
Dick? Am I still sucking his dick?
You're already sucking his dick.
No,
that's established.
There's penetration. Okay. There's penetration.
So
beyond that.
Basically, what we're going for is like a 3-way distraction method. Adam's approaching with a pocket sand.
This is a horseshit plan, Adam.
No, Rick agrees to do a cartwheel.
This is also your fault, Rick.
Well, all right. So I do a cartwheel.
Dude, just from the waist down. Not even just from the waist down. He distracts Jesse Ventura. And I walk up to him. I get really close because he's distracted by Rick doing these cartwheels over all this weird stuff. He's like, why is this guy doing that? While he's penetrating Logan.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I walk up and say, hey, man, that's not right. And I go, but at that time, I'm already so close.
Yeah.
That it's just an afterthought. Like it's just a quip, It's like an action line. Look, the gig is up already. So I'm like super close to him. I'm like, so I had to say a little line because he's going to look at me.
Right.
Like, the gig is up.
Okay.
Just enough time for him to turn. The sand gets in his eyes. He's
He's what?
Debilitated for at least 10 to 15 minutes.
All right, so we're gonna leave him alive.
No, we're looting all of his stuff, and then we're all gonna do like some kind of cake stomp on his head. Just because,
right.
I mean, you can't have a guy like that running around.
No, very good point.
Hassling people at that point. The damage was done, but going forward, let's make sure he's not. We don't want to fucking people.
Yeah, we don't want to run into him again.
No,
we don't want to run into him again. I don't want other people running into him.
So, all right. So, in this scenario, while intern Logan is being penetrated by Jesse the Body Ventura, I do a waist down naked cartwheel to further distract this man who's having his dick sucked. And Adam sneaks up from behind with his patented pocket sand technique. Yep. He blows sand into Jesse Ventura's eyes, stunning him, while we make a mad dash to loot him of all of his shit. Then we do like some sick American History X moves and stomp his head in. And we steal the police cruiser and head off into the sunset once more.
Yeah.
So this will bring us to our next segment of the survival scenario, entitled Highway Hell. After successfully defeating Jesse Ventura and stealing his police cruiser, the boys started to compartmentalize everything that had just taken place. Spirits were starting to rise as the fellas believed the worst was truly over. Remind me never to come back to this part of town, Adam said jokingly as he slid his aviators back on and took a huge rip off of his Bubblicious grape vape while simultaneously cranking up Selfie by the Chainsmokers. Yeah, that place left a bad taste in my mouth, intern Logan replied, still picking out webs of cum from his teeth and gums in the vanity mirror. All in all, things were looking up until out of nowhere, Adam yelled, "Geez Louise, peppers and cheese," and slammed on the brakes of the newly acquired police cruiser. The boys did a totally sick 360 drift thing and stopped perfectly on the edge of a deep, dark canyon separating the highway by about 50 feet or something. Those pussies in Boulder must have blown the road up to keep the marauders and coroner zombies out, Rick said, using the opportunity to butt slam Boulder even in a time of crisis. Agreed, Boulder sucks a sleeping bag full of dicks, said the guys nodding in agreement. Well, we can't just hang out in the middle of the road like a bunch of turkeys or something, Adam said with a determination in his eyes. Time to become men of action, he said out loud, fighting back tears of passion. So in this scenario, there's basically the three of us are going to have to come up with a way to get across this chasm while keeping in mind that we still need to preserve the vehicle that we have because it's our only mode of transportation. So basically in this scenario, what we have to do is get 2 out of 3 even rolls to complete the objective. So, intern Logan, would you like to go first and come up with a scenario on how we are going to get across this chasm?
Yeah. So, I'm going to get in the driver's seat of the car, tell the boys to get in the back, and then I'm going to back up about 100 feet and gun it and jump the chasm while simultaneously doing a sick backflip in the police cruiser.
You're going to backflip the police cruiser over the chasm?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how you're trying to pull that off. Seems physically impossible, but anything's possible in the COVID-19 Escape from Denver 2020 survival game. So let's go ahead and start our rolling and see what we got. First roll, we got a 1. We're not off to a good start as far as backflipping this fucking police cruiser goes.
No, we're not.
Roll number 2. 5. Oh no. So Logan backs up 100 feet, realizing that it's just not within the realm of possibility to go flying towards this chasm and do a backflip in this police cruiser. And he gives up his pipe dream and has Rick and Adam give it a shot. Adam, would you like to come up with a scenario on how we're going to get across this chasm?
Yes.
Give it to me.
All right. So over time, you and I have developed, like we occasionally would watch YouTube videos of eagles, eagle calls.
Yeah.
So over years of subliminal development.
Dude, what the fuck is that?
Huh?
Nothing. It just sounds like there's a stampede going on.
be.
Yeah, there's like mad.
Sounds like a fucking troll having an orgasm.
Yeah, what the fuck?
No. So over time, we developed this skill. At this point, we were just fucking around with it. So we're like, all right, let's use this. And we fucking call in all the...
Oh my god. There's just fucking pounding noises going on. Okay. Go ahead. Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm saying... No, so we call in all of the... Well, there's eagles. Not bald eagles necessarily.
Just eagles in general?
Yeah, like all eagles of all kinds, right?
Yeah.
It's an emergency signal. This is a red flag. It's like a flare's going up. So, but through eagle calls, generic eagle calls.
Okay.
We've mastered generic eagle calls, right? We haven't mastered like specific breeds, but we've gotten to the point where we can at least be generic to eagles.
Yes.
So we call them out. And so we get like fucking golden eagles, and shit.
We understand that there's very wide.
There's going to be a lot of eagles showing up.
Okay. Yeah,
Jesus fucking Christ.
There's a lot of eagles coming.
Yes.
Right? So they pick us up and they take us over.
Okay. Now that we've...
I don't want to... I see you made me abbreviate it.
Well, you needed to, motherfucker. You're out here like dancing around it. Like, okay, there's
Too
several...
many fucking
Let me
eagles.
start naming off all the eagles, starting with one that doesn't exist. And like... So, all right, Adam and I have gotten good at generic eagle calls. We call upon a vast ocean of eagles to come and lift our car across the
eagles,
chasm.
Like, there's small eagles, there's big eagles. Like, there's a lot of eagles.
Holy shit, Adam.
Yes, there's a lot
I'm
of...
just saying, it's a wide variety of eagles. It's not just like, there's like, a one standard. There's a lot of eagles. But
All right, so let's roll
Sorry.
for the eagles to carry us over the chasm.
Can we vote to leave Adam behind?
No, we can't. Hey, you keep on, dude. I'm gonna fix this game to where you get fucked up later on. You keep on. All right, here's the first roll. We got an even. Second roll. We've got an odd.
I know.
Number 3. Oh my god, we got an even.
Oh shit.
So
We're going over the fucking chasm in some eagles, dude.
that's right.
Disappointing.
So while intern Logan's in the back seat considering his own actions, Rick and Adam spring into action and let out some very weird generic eagle calls that call an ocean of all the various eagles. Any type of eagle you can think of, even the band shows up and carries the car airborne over the chasm. Over the chasm, while the Eagles, the band, are on the hood of the car playing any of their hits. It doesn't matter. They just showed up for a morale boost. So
Any of their hits? They're just playing Hotel California.
So now the guys.
Do they stick with us?
No.
One hit?
No.
They gotta go. They gotta go.
The guys.
They have other emergencies to attend to.
Yes, the Eagles, the actual birds, carry us over with the band playing on the hood. They drop us safely on the other side of the highway, and they all disperse as if they had never even been there in the first place. And so now the boys are continuing back on their journey. That brings us... I'm over here sliding through the storyline. All right. So this brings us to the next portion of the survival scenario, entitled Adrenochrome and the Hollywood Elite. All right.
I feel like you should dim the lights for this.
I feel like you should stop sliding that fucking chair around before I put a bullet in my head.
Do it and we'll just keep the live stream going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Hurry up, dude.
I know.
Come
You
on.
guys are rooting for me. All right. Oh my god, that chair is horrendous and that microphone.
I'm on a wood floor, asshole. You
Yeah,
got
I
yourself-
know.
You're sliding on carpet like a fuck.
I know, it's always something.
What do you mean it's always something? I got wood floor. What do you
we
have?
got
dude? You
tables
carpet.
giving us shit. We got floors giving us shit. We got audio equipment giving us shit.
Whole
Not
9
anymore,
yards.
dude.
All right, so
You got to deal with this. I'll start squeaking, dude.
we're moving.
Stampede.
We're moving on. Adrenochrome and the Hollywood Elite. Having bested the highway once more, the tired travelers started to relax again, but this time with an aura of caution about them. It's all good, Adam said, unsure of himself, while only turning up Selfie by the chain smokers to a reasonable volume that he could nod his head to. The boys started to approach the entrance of the mountains when they noticed that something was terribly off. The entrance to the canyon had been blocked by a makeshift wall with a crude gate in the middle of it, all of which was painted with Rastafarian colors. Perplexed, the boys got out of the car to take a closer look. As they approached the wall, they immediately noticed that the gate wasn't wide enough to fit the police cruiser through. Who the hell would do something like this? Rick asked, as his beautiful long curly hair glistened in the sun like so many diamonds strewn across a wavy brown field. Whoever it was just earned themselves a full-ride scholarship to slip and fall school, Adam responded while flexing and making sure that the boys could see his shredded pythons. The guys had almost gotten up enough courage to knock on the gate when they heard a soft voice say, "You boys look like you could use a rest, and maybe some water." The boys looked up shocked as they saw Maggie Gyllenhaal standing atop the wall. "Oh, gross," Rick said as he fought back vomit. "No thank you, ma'am. We are just passing through and don't think you're hideously gross at all," Adam said firmly as he contemplated taking a dominance rip off his vape. "Very well, weary travelers. You're free to pass. Open the gate." The sound of metal scraping and scratching against metal nearly deafened the boys, but they were relieved to see that the road was clear all the way up into the canyon and on the other side of the wall as well. Rick, Adam, and Executive Intern Logan started to walk to and then through the gate and were immediately baffled by how many middle-aged, sweaty Italian men in tracksuits there were on the other side. "Sorry to disappoint you, boys, but we have other plans for you." The boys immediately realized that they had walked right into a trap, and that these were no ordinary sweaty Italians. These were the sweaty middle-aged Italians that killed Joe Pesci and his brother out in the cornfield in Casino. Our heroes were surrounded. "You see, my employer would pay top dollar for you three. He should be arriving shortly," Maggie Gyllenhaal said before turning quickly and losing her balance. She tried to catch herself on the makeshift guardrail, but was too gross skinny and did not have the strength to do so, so she plummeted about 40 feet onto her head, compressing and then shattering every vertebrae in her spinal column. "Nice," Rick said as the guys felt hopeful that maybe they would be okay. "You ain't going nowhere, jagoffs," one of the guys from Casino said in a menacing tone. The guys sat anxiously for 2 hours, held prisoner, wondering what horrific fate awaited them, and what they had done to deserve such a conveniently spaced-out string of bad luck. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, a helicopter dropped down and hovered over the highway. The boys and the guys from Casino all shielded their faces as the helicopter came to a soft landing and the propellers stopped. The passenger door opened, and what the fellas heard next startled them. "Big up, big up." "Oh no," the boys said in unison, as none other than Chet Hanks appeared in front of them, right before their very eyes. "Yo, so like, you know my parents got coronavirus. Crazy, right? Well, I gotta hook you guys up to a machine my parents have that will shock your testicles and kickstart your adrenaline so that I can harvest your adrenochrome and use it to speed up my mom and dad's recovery." The boys started laughing hysterically as it was very hard to take this butthole seriously. One of the guys from Casino punched Logan in the stomach, making him shit a small amount. The boys then realized that this was no laughing matter. "Well, we've come this far," Rick said as he lit a Turkish Royal. "Might as well go down swinging," he said as he took a long drag and exhaled smoke like a badass. "Just focus on beating up the guys from Casino. Everyone knows Chet Hanks can't fight," Intern Logan said, provoking beef, and because that's just the way he rolls and he's hard as fuck like that.
You know it.
The boys got into mega tough fighting stances and prepared for the fight of their lives. All right. In the battle with the guys from Casino, players must think of a scenario to defeat them and roll evens to defeat to advance in the story. If a player fails to defend themselves, then that player will be beaten and dragged off to the adrenochrome harvesting machine. If that player dies before another player or the players have a chance to go, then those remaining players will automatically advance into the next scenario of the game. So basically, we're going to treat this as each one of us is facing off against 3 of these Italians from Casino. So, Intern Logan, how would you like to fight and defeat your 3 Italian men from Casino?
I'm gonna use Maggie Gyllenhaal's gross dead body as a weapon to fight him off.
Nice, like a
Good idea.
like a limp fucking baseball bat.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Except for kind of gross to touch it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Nobody wants to touch her.
Didn't really want to use it, but circumstances.
Yeah, I see. You're being a realist about it. I like that. All right, so let's get on to our first roll here and see what's going on. We've got a 6. Things are looking good. And another 6. All right. Executive Intern Logan picks up the corpse of gross Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Nice.
And swings her around like a fucking limp axe and destroys these 3 sweaty Italians from Casino, cleaving them in twain. Adam, how would you like to handle your handful of sweaty Italian man?
What?
How would you
There's
like?
other ones?
Yeah, you have to fight your group.
There's a total of 9 of them.
Yeah, this is a boss fight.
6 of them technically now.
This is a boss fight.
Well, all right. I think quit. I call contact in the CIA.
Yeah.
He airdrops a teleporter. I teleport to the best deli in some fucking country.
Satrials from The Sopranos.
Oh yeah, I grab the most gabagool I can grab. I'll buy like fucking 20 pounds of gabagool, right? And then I just fucking I zip back there, dude. I just start kind of just I don't know, like almost like a sprinkler type of situation.
Oh, you're
like,
just doling out the gabagool. Like,
I'm gabagooling, dude.
Nice.
Like I'm just
like ninja stars almost. You got slices of gabagool and you're ninja starring it at the sweaty men.
That's the kryptonite of these individuals, I'm assuming.
It clogs their arteries. It clogs their heart up and they have heart attacks.
Well, they have a thing for it, so you throw that mug at them and you get moving.
Right on. All right, so Adam's gonna incapacitate his handful of sweaty Italians.
The gabagool is laced with, high cholesterol, so they're gonna have heart attacks.
It's naturally
within
laced.
5 to 10 minutes after eating this gabagool. So
I like it. Let's roll. Let's see if we can't make this a possibility.
Gabagool.
We got an 8.
Ooh, we got gabagool, dude. 2.
Ooh, and a 1. All right. The whole gabagool. Uh-oh. Hold on. The computer froze on me for a second. It won't let me roll the dice. That's another one of the many hurdles you have to face as a content creator using an outdated PC from 2012, or actually an outdated Mac from 2012.
I did not like that dice roll. I don't think things are looking good for Adam.
Yeah, I know. It's like, are we never gonna know now? Here, I'll let me get out of this and I'll restart.
All right, and on next week's episode, we find out whether or not Adam makes it out.
Oh, he's getting edgy, dude.
Yeah, I know. Chrome didn't shut down correctly. Yeah, no fucking shit.
Yeah.
There we go. Hopefully it doesn't give us any shit this time.
You know it is, dude.
I know.
Okay.
It's too all right, so let's go ahead and roll. We're gonna roll. This is the third and final roll to see if Adam can gabagool these sweaty Italian men. And we got a 4. So Adam goes through his portal from his CIA contact. He travels to Satrials in New Jersey and picks up a ton of pre-laced gabagool, transports back in an instant, and like Ninja Star starts distributing the gabagool evenly amongst these sweaty Italian men in tracksuits. overwhelming them with the processed meat and clogging their arteries, killing them almost instantly. All right, so now I've got to try. I've got to try and handle my handful of sweaty Italian men.
See if you make it this time.
Yeah, I know. This is where I got a little caught up last time. So I think in this scenario, what I would like to do is I'm going to start naming off Italian names and saying like, oh, did you hear Anthony was killed in a car accident? Oh, did you hear Vinny has glaucoma? And I'm just going to start naming out random Italian names and saying that they've come down with some horrible illness or that they've died. This is going to overwhelm the Italian men attacking me because of how outward they are with their emotions when bad things happen. This is going to send them into an overwhelming state of emotion, and they're all going to have strokes and die at the same time. And let's get on to that first roll.
That works.
So 2, I'm off to an okay start. 3, not so good.
Things aren't looking good.
And our last roll. Aye, nigh. Again. Okay, so I go to try this technique, and instead of all of this bad news overwhelming the men and causing them to collapse in emotional, overwhelmed states, instead it just enrages them because they all know what I'm doing and they see it as an overt, ignorant hate crime that I'm trying to commit. So they freak out and they beat me into submission, and I am dragged off to the adrenochrome harvesting machine.
Oh, nigh.
Yes, so that means I am out of the game right now, and I am stuck in one of these adrenochrome machines, having my testicles shocked repeatedly and having my adrenaline harvested by the Hanks family. All right, so now you and Intern Logan can come up with a scenario as to how you would like to proceed. We can do like we did last time. You guys can roll to team up and save me if you want to, or you can choose to just continue on your journey and advance to the next part of the story.
I guess we'll try to save you if you want.
If I want. All right, so come up with a scenario of how you're going to save me first, because you've got 3 of these leftover Italians facing you down, and you're choosing not to run while they're not looking. They've spotted you now. You've chosen to stay behind and try to rescue your best friend and lover that's stuck in the adrenochrome machine. How would you like to defeat these men?
It's not easy, dude. I can't guarantee it.
Well, no, there is no guarantee. This all comes down to a dice roll.
True.
A dice roll.
Yeah, I got it.
Well,
I don't know, man. I mean, we whittle boomerangs, maybe? I mean, get some range out of those.
All right, so you pick up some debris and some sticks and shit off the side of the road.
You know, we fashion it into boomerangs. Pretty good boomerangs. Not great, but pretty good. And whip them down there, and it breaks all of their necks.
With one toss?
Well, yeah.
Excellent. I mean, that's the thing about boomerangs. They usually have a good comeback.
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
Hey.
All right, so Adam and Logan fashion boomerangs. Not super awesome boomerangs, but all right boomerangs, according to Adam.
All right. Yeah, they're all right.
And they whip them down at the three sweaty Italian men, breaking their necks in unison. Let's see if we can't make this happen. With roll number 1, we've got 4. Uh-oh. Roll number 2. We've got a 4. All right.
Oh.
So the boys whip their okay but not awesome boomerangs down at the sweaty Italian men from Casino, breaking their necks in unison and rescuing their dear beloved leader from the adrenochrome machine.
Oh, okay.
And
we were being nice. I wouldn't say, Okay.
So now I am rescued. I am out of the adrenochrome machine, and Now that we're all together, we're recollecting ourselves. We're getting our bearings and our wits about us, surveying the carnage around us at this makeshift gate. Maggie Gyllenhaal's gross corpse lays in a bloody heap in the corner next to a bunch of bloody tracksuits and dead Italian men. Now, we start making our way up the road, and we don't have any mode of transportation at this point, so we start fanning out into the woods to, kind of remain covered and still travel up along the road. When I think what we're going to do now is, as we're searching through the woods and kind of trying to stay out of sight, Adam sees a sweet brand new four-wheeler that one of the sweaty Italian guys were driving around the route around that area and shit like that, and he's like, "Oh, sweet!" But before we can even walk up to it, Chet Hanks drops out of a tree and he's like, "You guys aren't going anywhere." And because he's such a pussy, we don't even dedicate a dice roll to it. We don't dedicate anything other than just a solid, good old-fashioned end of the world ass whooping again. We employ one of the greatest fucking displays of a straight up beat down anyone has ever seen on the planet Earth, and we beat him to death with our bare hands and skin him alive in order to make silly jackets and stuff out of his like stupid tattoos and stuff. We're gonna use it. We're gonna use his skin. So, after easily dispatching Chet Hanks, we go back to this ATV that we found that has super sick like red flames and stuff down the side of it and shit. The three of us get on this ATV, and Adam is going to be driving us because he's the ATV expert. He has one himself, and I feel like he is the best suited.
Him now. Hold on.
Well, yeah, he's the best suited.
Right now, dude.
He's the best suited to get us up the rest of our hike on this stupid ATV because he's one of the rough riders and does tricks on ATVs.
Oh yeah, he's a tough boy.
All right, so this brings us to our next segment entitled Night Riders. Rick, Adam, and Executive Intern Logan were almost to Adam's mountain hideout when they noticed reflectors shining the light back being emitted from their headlights. "What the hell could that be?" Adam asked apprehensively. "I'm not sure, but we're getting ready to find out," Rick said as he... Oh, wait, no. Let me redo that line. I fucked that one up because last time different people were alive at this point. "What the hell could that be?" Rick asked apprehensively. "I'm not sure, but we're getting ready to find out," Adam replied as he revved the engine and sped off towards the reflectors. The boys caught up to the reflector lights quickly, only to notice that it was a handful of cyclists being inconvenient assholes as usual, taking up road space. "Finally, a stroke of good luck," Adam exclaimed. "Let's let off some steam." In this scenario, each player has the opportunity to throw an item or figure out a way that they want to cause serious harm or death to these cyclists. Each player will tell the dungeon master, me, how they would like to proceed and roll evens to complete the objective. This scenario is strictly for fun and purely for the pleasure derived from harming cyclists. So, Adam, how would you like to dispatch these pain-in-the-ass cyclists that we've encountered?
It's tough, man. I mean, they're so pompous, dude. Why are they shaving their legs?
I don't know. That's not the question at hand here. What we need to figure out a way to get rid of these buttholes.
How are you going to murder them?
I didn't say you had to murder them, but I mean, if you want to, I'm still going to roll these dice. One way or the other, it's going down.
That's happening.
Adam?
We create a decoy bicyclist, it looks like. We got a bike that's packed with C4. We put some sunglasses on him, and we roll it out there. And they all think he's cool too. So at just the same exact point where he's like accepted.
Like when they catch up to him and invite them into the herd.
Yep.
All right, so we have a timer bomb on a decoy cyclist that we roll out to try to attract these cyclists, and as they move in, and they kind of envelop this cyclist into their fold, this bicycle is going to blow up and kill all of them. So let's go ahead and get rolling and see if we can't make this happen. Roll number 1 off to a good start. We're at a 4, so evens are good. Let's see if we can't keep this going. And an 8. All right, so Adam rolls the decoy cyclist out there. They get up close to him. It blows up and kills about a third of the cyclists in the pack. Logan, how would you like to handle the remaining cyclists?
I would like to use some amateur animal calls and call upon a grizzly bear to come and murder them.
All right, I'm sensing a theme here. We're all very in tune with nature and can call upon these wild animals to do our bidding.
Yep.
You're calling on all bears or just grizzly bears?
Just grizzly bears.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah,
here's the problem.
we're
In Colorado. You're not going to get grizzly bears, but
Oh, I'm sorry. Fine, then black bears.
You might get
Okay.
you might get a particular type of bear with a low T cell count. That's something that might happen.
that could be a grizzly bear as well. Yeah.
All right, so let's roll and see if Adam can make his call of the wild come to fruition and kill off his set of bikers.
It's not Mike. You said it. No,
This is mine.
that's Logan's.
Oh, did I say Adam? My bad. I'm out of it. All right, roll number 1. 8, off to a good start.
There we go.
And 4, fuck yeah.
There we go.
All right, maybe fate doesn't like cyclists either, apparently. So Logan lets out this loud roar into the darkness of the forest surrounding us, and out of nowhere, a giant 40-foot Kodiak bear wearing a gambling visor and smoking a Newport comes out of the woods like a bat out of hell and mauls another third of these cyclists to death on the side of the road as Rick, Adam, and Executive Intern Logan watch in pleasure and with half-hard dicks. Now, we have another third remaining cyclists, and as you all know, I am not afraid to admit my hatred for these bicyclists and people that even some motorcycle riders. I don't like them either, but I think the way that I want to handle these particular cyclists is that I'm going to have Adam speed up next to the remaining cyclists, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my shoelaces out and I'm going to jump onto the back of their bikes one by one, choking them to death while still maintaining the balance of their bicycles in between my thighs. Like I'm keeping us going in a straight direction, and I'm strangling them one at a time until, they stop moving. And then I just jump to the next couple of cyclists in front of me like a badass, like XXX move or something like that.
It's a big dick move.
Yeah. I'm just trying to be an alpha.
That's pretty tough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at me, dude. I'm clearly a tough boy, clearly an alpha.
Well, that's why we're saying it's pretty tough.
All right, so roll number 1. 8. Number 2. 4. Hell yes.
There we go.
So Adam speeds up. He pops a sweet Rough Riders wheelie, temporarily losing Intern Logan off the back.
DMX at the time?
We're definitely playing DMX. So Adam pops a super sweet wheelie, temporarily losing Intern Logan off the back and scuffing up his knees a little bit, which is okay because they were already scuffed up from the encounter with Jesse Ventura. Rick then, as Adam is popping a super sick wheelie, Rick does a super swick, a super sweet double front flip with a half twist and then another half twist on the way down and lands perfectly behind the last cyclist in line with his shoelace in hand, and he successfully chokes out to death each cyclist one by one, making his way up the remainder of the cyclists on the road. All right, so that was a successful campaign against these butthole cyclists. Now, this brings us to the next and final segment of COVID Trail Escape from Denver 2020, entitled Lopan's Intervention. This is the final boss fight.
Oh.
Morale was at an all-time high as the boys had given the cyclists the business, and they could now see their whole lives ahead of them as they turned the corner and saw the edge of Adam's driveway in the distance. Son of a bitch, we actually made it, Rick said in disbelief. It's finally over. No sooner did their tires hit the dirt driveway when the sky turned to a deep black and the full moon turned blood red. Ah, for fuck's sake, what now? Adam yelled. I don't like the look of this, Intern Logan said as he popped a maintenance Adderall to keep his head in the game. Lightning began to crash and scatter across the sky, touching down sporadically, bless you, touching down sporadically along the driveway. Then, out of a bright flash of light appeared the evil and powerful wizard from Big Trouble in Little China, David Lopan. Hello, boys. My minions told me of your valiant effort to escape my deadly virus, revealing to the boys that the virus was created from ancient Chinese black magic and that he had unleashed it onto the planet in order to destabilize civilization and enslave the human race. Once my virus turns you all into obedient zombies, I will rise to power and rule the earth for 1,000 years with my black magic. I don't think so, cockshine, Adam said as he prepared himself for the final showdown. Zips in the wire, Rick said as he also took a sweet karate stance in preparation for the coming onslaught. Ha 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 ha. You ignorant fools are no match for my power, David Lopan screamed as he sent lightning flying in all directions. The final battle for Earth was about to begin. All right. So in the final battle against David Lopan, each player must roll the dice 5 times and total the sum of the 5 rolls. When each player has rolled 5 times and have their individual totals, they will then add all 3 of those totals up together. So all 3 of our totals out of the 5 rolls. And if this number... Holy shit, Adam. Adam.
Oh, get paper ready.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're breaking glass by the microphone.
All right.
I told you about this.
I went over this.
Logan?
Yeah?
Don't echo me. I'll fucking pistol whip you to death.
Do it.
Bring
it on.
So basically what we're going to do now, in order to fight David Lopan and hopefully successfully defeat him, all 3 of us are going to roll 5 times. We're going to tally those 5 rolls up. And then once all 3 players have rolled 5 times, we're going to take the totals and add them all together. And if we get an even number, then we successfully beat David Lopan. If not, then we perish all at once, completely voiding all the progress we've made in our escape from Denver 2020. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll go first. And Adam, you got the paper at the ready?
On it.
All right. And Intern Logan, will you get a calculator ready?
Yes,
I've got the calculator.
Oh, okay. Well, last time we ran into a little dilemma, so I want to make sure I have my bases covered this time.
All right.
All right, so first roll for me, we've got a 7. Second roll, we've got a 5. Third roll, we've got a 3. Next roll, we've got another 3.
18.
All right, so moving on to Executive Intern Logan. First roll, we've got a 3. Second roll, we've got an 8. Third roll, we've got a 2. Fourth roll, we've got a 3. Fifth roll, we've got a 6.
22.
All right, and now moving on to Mr. Adam. First roll, we've got ourselves a 3. Second roll, we're fucking with another 3. Third roll, another goddamn 3.
Okay.
Starting to think this is fixed too now. I'm the one that fucking created the game, and I'm pretty sure it's fixed. Fourth roll, we've got a 6. And our last roll, a 3.
That's like a 18, but it's just like a statistical impossibility to get that many threes, you would think.
I know, right? So what is our grand total, Mr. Adam?
Of all of us?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just a succession of like quick clicks.
58.
58. All right. I guess we successfully fucked up David Lopan.
Yeah. How'd we do it?
So, yeah, I guess now we have to come up with a scenario. So I guess basically what happened was, we took our super sweet fighting stances, and David Lopan was like doing some weird shit with the lightning, trying to scare us off with the lightning. But he also doesn't have the virus. He just kind of created it with magic, put it into a human, and it spread on its own. So past the lightning, which he can't really direct, it just kind of goes all over the place. There wasn't really too much he could do to stop 3 grown men in better shape than him, like from just kind of running up on him and beating the shit out of him. So I think what happened was like immediately as the Adderall kicked in, Intern Logan ran up to David Lopan and took the bottom of his dress and just kind of pulled it up over his head like a hockey move. And Adam started working the ribs with vicious hooks and left rights, one after the other in succession. And then basically what I did was I came up from behind, as is usually my move, while he was bent over taking the beating. And I always have a hard-on anyway, so I already had a boner. I'm not going to waste it. And I was like, how many times in my life am I going to get the opportunity to fuck a wizard that's full of black magic? Maybe I can get some of that. So I roll up behind him super fast at a dead sprint with a huge raging boner. And I thrust my delicious gift right into his ass. And it splits him in half like a block of wood. And lightning just blows up and scatters all over the place.
Me and Adam watching, shock and awe.
Well, yeah. Well, you guys finish. You guys finish on yourselves because you can't quite.
Oh, of course. Why wouldn't we?
Well, you can't quite
comprehend.
Yeah, you can't comprehend what's happening. You also can't contain the raw sexuality that's playing out in front of you guys. So once that happens, the lightning scatters. David Lopan splits in half and just disintegrates into the air. And as the remaining lightning scatters across Adam's property, it creates grass and all this nice greenery. The skies clear up. Adam's garden is already like nice looking, but it just creates an even more bountiful garden with larger crops and stuff. And it also, like, one of the bolts of lightning happened to travel up Adam's yard behind his house and killed his neighbor Curtis. So, like, that was another cool thing that happened. So we don't have to worry about partying all the time. We can party as loud as we want and shit like that and don't have to worry about the cops coming. So it looks like we saved the day and a couple of bonuses there. A couple people got killed along the way. Let's not say, we don't want to overlook the fact that we lost our dear friend Skylar.
Is it really a loss, though?
And that's what you really have to ask yourself at the end of the day.
You got to break a few eggs. Yeah,
whatever. So, yeah, we saved the day. We saved the world.
R.I.P. Skylar.
Yeah, we saved the world. And
acceptable casualties.
Yeah, acceptable casualties, I want to say. And then we also, we improved Adam's property value in the process.
That is true.
So, I mean, this.
Well, would there be like a Lopan monument or something that people could come to? Or
yes, actually, it's a bent over stone monument, but like right in the area where his asshole is, there is a fleshlight inserted so that you can reenact the final battle of Earth.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's a tourist trap, dude. We can make some money on that.
Exactly. Okay, so that's
ceremonial purposes only.
Yeah. Well, it can be it'll be ceremonial, but we'll also charge like $15 a pop. Drop a load, $15.
Get a net off.
No, we become millionaires.
I like that. Yeah, we become overnight millionaires.
Got to bring your own disinfectant, though.
Yeah, and we're also
that's not our responsibility.
And our penises are never dry again because of all the gratifying sex that we have from saving the Earth from the mysterious and evil David Lopan from Big Trouble in Little China.
You're welcome, everybody.
Yeah, I mean,
David Lopan, dude. I mean, he was no joke.
Well, at this point, I'm expecting some thank you letters for saving the planet and getting us through this whole crisis that we're going through.
Some compensation.
What I would like is if we make this a poster because it's
Maybe some T-shirts.
Yeah,
T-shirts, posters,
it's coming. It's coming.
There-
I know you
there
guys are prodding me. Don't worry. This is all in the works. This is all going to happen.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah, actually, I got some info I can convey a little after the show's over. It's, there's some stuff in the works. Daddy's got a lot of irons in the fire, as it were. I'm doing a lot of moves and shakes.
Oh, yeah, now.
A lot of moves and shakes, yeah.
Shake a bake.
Yeah, boy. So I guess now that we've saved the earth and we're overnight successes and millionaires, we should go ahead and get into that mode that we get into when it's time to go smoke a ciggy and start relaxing for the night.
Word 'em up.
Well, thank you all for joining us for a very special installment of the Brass Tacks Podcast. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Now you can go home to your friends and family, head held high, knowing that you're safe for another day. If you could, go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is the Brass Tacks Podcast. We're going to be uploading this there, as well as some other platforms, and we're also going to release the audio version of this episode as usual. Also, if you want to meet some more weirdos and kind of jump into the discussion about the show, join our Brass Tacks Podcast Discord. And if you have any suggestions for anything you'd like covered in the show or anything that you think might that we might enjoy featuring, send any and all suggestions to therealbrasstacks@gmail.com. And until next week, go fuck your mother.
We can't encourage, ass eating at this time, so.
Oh, yes, and we will be posting a invite link to the Discord in our social medias.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Just say, you got to stay sanitary out there, so. Wash your hands.